Hey, good morning, Eddie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks for making time. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, Eddie, I'm a freshman at the University of Pennsylvania studying mathematical economics and computer science with a minor in statistics.
When did you get serious about studying?
Yeah, so I think I really got serious about studying back in like the beginning of 11th grade or the summer before 11th grade. And I think it was because I think the catalyst was I like to say I for the first time I kind of had like an intrinsically motivated, I like to say top level or overarching goal. And in my case, that was like coming to Penn. So before that summer studying, I I didn't really have a concrete sense or tangible sense of where studying was going to lead me to. But after I genuinely like researched Penn and realized that Penn is the place I want to be and I see myself here, I now know that from A to B to get to B, A in this case, which is studying, is a like a stepping stone or prerequisite to getting to B, which is a goal I genuinely care about and want to achieve. So I think when you zoom out and see it that way, where you can kind of perceive the thing that you see as a hassle around, or like which in the case of studying as like a stepping stone. And I think that makes it like psychologically easier, but also help you stay grounded and motivated. So I would say like have a like top level overarching goal, like similar to mine, which can be like a dream school that you generally want to go to. And it can make studying a little easier, I think that way.
Nice. There's definitely no doubt that you're a mathematical econ major as you're speaking in variables, A and B. Thank you for that bit of wisdom. Of course, along your journey, you definitely went through some obstacles, hurdles. If you could reflect back, what are some of the largest hurdles that you had to overcome in your journey?
I'll say the largest hurdle that I had to overcome in like the application process was just so up until 11th grade, I wasn't fully sure if I was going to be going to attend a university in the US. So that's to say in ninth and 10th grade, I wasn't really involved in extracurricular activities as much as I should have. So I think the ideal process is ninth and 10th grade, you join as many clubs as you want, just explore your passions and then narrow it down 11th and 12th grade. But I kind of had to do this concurrently or at the same time, like these two things. And I think that was all like definitely the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome. And I did, and overall, like in the end, it did end up working out. So I guess it goes to show first, if you do have the time, if you're ninth and 10th grade, just explore as much as you can and then narrow it down to, like, I would say like 2 to 3 or 5 top ECAs that you really like genuinely care about and want to explore further. But if you don't have that much time, or if you're in an analogous situation to me, it's okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be a lot more work than most others, but it's still possible. And I would say don't be discouraged. That's still definitely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, so start early, explore and discover your passions. And then in the final 2 years or so, that's when you really pinpoint focus, because that's also around the time we need to decide what you want to major in and study at university. Yeah, speaking about your ECAs or extracurricular activities, can you share with us what parts of your ECAs and character development helped you the most in your journey?
Most of my ECAs were very related to like research and writing. I loved writing. It's something I like love writing to do and still love doing. But I kind of want to talk about debate. Debate was not my strongest like ECA. I think I listed it as a sixth or seventh on like the Common App out of 10. But like looking back and in retrospect, I really appreciated my like being involved in debate and the debate society and being a debater there because I'm an introvert and I never like public speaking, but debate really pushed me out of my comfort zone and it made me uncomfortable. But I think that's what is necessary for like your character development and just development overall. You have to be uncomfortable. And when you go through situations like that, and after you go through situations like that, and in the moment, then I think you realize like later on, I think I know that in the moment I may feel horrible, but after this, I know that because I was uncomfortable and I was out of my comfort zone, I'll be able to grow. And this is something I need for like my development. And I think debate really helped me do that. And also debate just is I think it's one if you don't know what to pick up and if you still have a lot of time, definitely pick up debate. Because like a lot of the benefits that have accrued from debate, like just being able to think more cohesively in a structured manner and whatnot, they all help with just essay writing. It helped with my Common App. it helped me a lot with like essays that I wrote in college so far as well. So, and I'm aware that PA and Point Avenue has like a great debate team.
We need to thrive in moments of discomfort, and that's what allows us to continue to have that growth mindset. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the research part? I think that's probably a foreign concept for a lot of high school students. What do you mean by research? And then what type of research did you do that you think helped develop those skills? And of course, you're probably doing a lot of research now at university.
Yeah, so what I did in high school is I wrote an independent research paper on the economic and political implications of South Korean gentrification in Hanoi. It was something I personally observed and was personally a part of as a South Korean who like has lived in Vietnam for 18 years, and I was really interested in seeing how the economic and political implications of that. What I did was I reached out and conducted interviews with like executives from Samsung, like hotels in the hospitality industry, professors, anyone I could just like have the opportunity to talk to. And I ended up writing I think it was a 3,500 research paper, and published it in a journal. So yeah, and I think conducting research as a high school student seems, as you said, kind of foreign. It seems something like only like people at professors or university students do, but it's definitely still doable as a high school student. And I think it teaches like a lot of discipline, because especially if you do it independently, you have to go through the whole process by yourself. But I think it's a very rewarding process, and I would definitely recommend anyone who's interested in research to like take it up. It was quite a
What
lot.
was the title? Do you still remember the title of your research paper? In case anybody wants to read and learn about the gentrification of Koreans in Hanoi.
I think it was exactly that, South economic and political implications of South Korean gentrification in Hanoi. Yeah.
Wow, that's really impressive. Thanks for sharing that, Eddie. Can you elaborate a little bit more? Earlier, you talked about Point Avenue and the debate programs. Around what time did you meet Point Avenue? And then working together with you and your parents, how did Point Avenue help you define, reach for, and achieve your success?
So I think it's a long time ago, but I think I first worked at the Point Avenue team in ninth grade, and I was learning SAT, and Danny was actually the reading teacher there. And yeah, so I've been involved and working with the Point Avenue team since then, like on and off. I've learned SAT there. I've had multiple meetings with Tommy, Danny, and whatnot. And I think what I really appreciate about the Point Avenue staff is like your relationship doesn't end with them. Like for example, like I think I learned SAT from them, but your relationship doesn't end with when the SAT camp ends. So that's to say, even after learning SAT from you, Danny, I was still able to like reach out to you. You were a mentor for an organization that I founded and was working on in 12th grade. And even 2 months ago, I was like in a situation where I was like very stressed about military and whatnot. And I reached out to you, and you responded right away, and you were able to help me out and connect me with people that you thought would be able to help me. So I think Point Avenue really like genuinely cares about you as a student, and like because when you work with them and your relationship doesn't end, like it's yeah. So that's what I really appreciate and I learned from Point Avenue. And yeah, I think that's something I took away from Point Avenue and hope to do as well in the future, to build meaningful relationships and try to help others.
Absolutely, Eddie, and that's exactly what you're doing through this interview here. I'm sure that you're going to inspire many members in the audience listening in, just based on your life story and what you've accomplished. And myself as your mentor, hopefully I'll continue to be your lifelong mentor. I'm more than happy to always help you in any way. So thank you for those really kind remarks. What do you think along your journey helped you the most to prepare you for life at UPenn?
I think academically, first I did the IB program, and for those doing or considering the IB program, I would honestly definitely recommend it. Because one of the first things I realized here at Penn is that the courses are very, very fast paced, and you're expected to be independent and for you to take initiative. That's to say you have to take initiative by yourself. So I took Math HL in high school for IB, And I would say that 2 years worth of content was condensed into one semester for me here at Penn last semester. So it's much more fast paced. And IB, the independence that IB teaches you and just expects of you for assignments and whatnot, translates well to college. And I think that's what really helped me in terms of just time management, taking initiative and whatnot. And just I guess then second, overall and holistically, what really helped me to prepare my life here at Penn was doing a lot of research about Penn before like applying or before the application process. So I this is something I really cared about, and I spent I'll probably like hours on. I what I did was I reached out to a lot of alumni, um, and talked to them and to get a sense of what Penn really was like, and that really prepared me. So the Penn is very well known for its pre-professional culture, and that's what kind of attracted me because as an international student wanting to work in the United States, um, that's what I kind of needed, where I was in an environment where I'm able to, or an environment that kind of values or emphasizes pre-professionalism. And I knew that before coming to Penn, and I expected it and was able to like respond well to it because I did my research on Penn. So I would say definitely do your research and yeah, choose your school based on your interests and needs. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So academic rigor in high school, not choosing the easy classes so you can have a 4.0, but challenging yourself absolutely prepares you for the academic rigor at university. And then research, 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 because that's where you're going to spend 4 years of your life. And yeah, speaking of your student life, what are some ways that you're taking advantage of the opportunities available to you there? Like,
Yeah, so more generally, I've been taking advantage of just the network here, the amount, like the vast network of professors, alumni, upperclassmen that I have by initiating coffee chats, just talking to them and learning a lot from them. One thing I learned that it's hard for them to say no to a college student who's like very like passionate and wants to talk to them to learn more about them. So definitely take advantage of that as like a high school student or even a college student by talking to professors. These professors have like done, I would say at least probably like 10 years worth of work on like their expertise. And that's the best place you can like learn from them about like a certain topic. Um, and I guess otherwise, my main like extracurriculars right now, or like at here at Penn, my involvements are first is a club called Wharton Undergraduates in Public Policy. And what we do is we're a pre-professional club, and we host a lot of speaker events and whatnot. Most recently, we were able to bring in Andrew Yang, the businessman and politician, to Wharton, and which was a successful event. And yeah, it was really great seeing him, like getting and having him give a talk here, keynote here. Um, Other than that, I'm really interested in the entrepreneurship space. So I'm a venture initiation program fellow here from at the Wharton School, and I'm currently being mentored by 3 Wharton MBA executive students, and I'm interning for their startup right now. What I realize is there's so many resources at university that you'll be able to take advantage of, and so be sure to take advantage of them when you can.
and then can you give us some examples of like the most meaningful network relationships that you developed?
So the 50 to 100 emails that I sent for my research paper was just for the interviews, and so I ended up interviewing 5 people, and yeah, so that's a pretty low success rate. Um, and yeah, you often don't get responses. A lot of the times since especially professors, they are very busy, and it's very hard to get responses. But yeah, in the end, in the end, one of the professors I was able to connect with in an interview. I still talk to him. I'm connected with him on LinkedIn, Facebook. So, and I think it was last year, November, I ended up reaching out to him because I was still interested in his work that he was doing. So I guess, again, that goes to show how when you take initiative and you start to build a relationship with someone, it can go a long way, and it can benefit you down the road, and you can help if it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So I think, yeah, again, take initiative and build meaningful relationships.
Yeah, so I mean, I would argue that 10% response rate from cold emails is a high success rate. That's basically, people who don't know who you are at all. Like they don't recognize you by name, by email, and then they respond to help you and help support you in what you needed for the research. And really, all you need is one, right? All you need is one person who's willing to carve out their time meaningfully to help you. And that could be the difference between success and failure. So I want to ask you, looking back now, was the hard work worth it? All the blood, sweat, and tears, was it worth it?
It definitely is. But I also want to say, like, human like greed is never ending. You still and even after I got to Penn, which is my like dream from 10th to 12th grade, um, there's I think people are very like goal driven, and you always want to have new goals and whatnot, and I think that's what drives humans, like the work that we do, and that motivates us, and like in the end, I think you want to I at least the way I see it is like you have like I said earlier, there's always these sub level goals for like a higher level goal or a top level goal that you want to achieve. And my new top level goal is to be an expert in AI governance.
There's so many things from this discussion that we can learn from as we listen in. So thank you so much, Eddie, for the time, for your wisdom, for your sharing. And you are now a mentor for many people. Wish you all the best as you serve in the Army and then make your way back to university and graduate. Thank you very much for your time, Eddie.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.